sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them. I think the sun already set. I have a feeling the ship is the only thing that's gonna be going down anytime soon. That's even worse. Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check out the hallway on the other side, shall we? That's a good idea, I guess. Frustration and fear building, they walked back to the stairs. To their right was a small hallway. Quickly they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led towards the stern, and its end was a set of double doors. Let's open it. Junpei nodded and grabbed one of the closest to him. It gave a small tug and I felt it move. It was unlocked. Thrilled to have found an unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw. Oh. The 7 and 8 door. It's like, really economy class? He simply stood, unable to speak. The others simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak. What the hell is this? A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the 4 companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. There were simple things, more than pipe and thin mattresses. A little more than pipe. Is this a hospital? He had at last been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room. The room swam with the harsh, biting smell of antiseptic. In the center of the room were shelves stacked with medicine and a number of medical devices, the function of which Junpei did not know. More importantly, however, on the back wall of the room were 4 doors. 3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint. The door on the left was labeled 3. The second door on the left had no number, but the third had been given a 7. And the rightmost door had an 8. There could be no doubt they were numbered doors. It did strike Junpei as strange, however, that the door between 3 and 7 should be blank. What, he wondered, could it mean? Let's take a look at the doors. Yes, that sounds like a good plan. Junpei headed towards the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3 on the left, and moved to the right until he reached door 8. It's no use. Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point of the Nonary Game? We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't. Wait a minute. What's wrong? Is there no red? Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it. Huh? Don't you remember the red at the central staircase? Didn't it say verified or something? Engaged? If it said no one inside, that's it, vacant. Oh yeah, you're right. But this one, there's nothing on it, right? I wonder if it's broken. Only one way to find out, unless we have to put the power back on or something. It didn't respond. All 4 took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled at the lever, and it still did nothing. As soon as they discovered it wasn't the only red for door 8. As soon as they discovered it wasn't only the red for door 8 that was behaving strangely. The red on door 7 also refused to respond. And door 3 was similarly silent. None of them would respond. What did it mean? Haha, I knew it. They're broken. Zero sure sucks at maintenance. No. That's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid simple mistake? Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working. It was at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them. I believe the bottom of the device has been removed. They spun around to see... Snake! Snake! But it was more than just Snake. Ace, Clover, and Seven quickly filed into the room as well. A minute. Ace, Clover, and Seven. Is Seven the mountain? Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party that opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised. Oh yeah, there he is. How did you end up here? After a moment of silence and surprises, everyone slowly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile, almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no, the ninth man had died, but they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought. The joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive. The ninth man was gonna just use us and then escape. Like, he didn't care about getting us off. He just wanted to save himself. There you have it, or half of the story. His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent, in thought. Then he spoke. Okay, let me see if I've got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were already gone. And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything. So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors. So you went and had a look? Yeah, and while you were looking around, you heard voices? Uh-huh. So you followed the voices and came back here? Indeed. And that was how we found you. Junpei examined the three Reds again, just in case. On the bottom of each was a long, thin gap. It looked like a slot for something. Probably something electronic. Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going. Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go? No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else. Hospital rooms? That's what's behind all these doors? Yes. There were a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one. There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked. There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good feel of it. Believe it was the symbol of Jupiter. Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere. I wonder what they all mean. For a moment everyone was silent, deep in thought. While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this. Of all people, it was Seven who answered, and with calm confidence. Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic. The Gigantic? Junpei looked confused. So did everyone else. What is this Gigantic? Seven knit his brows for a moment, then began to explain. The Gigantic